What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a customer support AI agent by creating a simple workflow in Anytime. Let's get started. In Anytime, I've created a workflow that I've renamed to customer support AI agent. Here, we're going to add the first step where we're going to add a trigger. Since we're going to receive customer support emails from clients via email, I'm going to search for Gmail to add a trigger. Our trigger is going to be an on message received trigger over here. Here, you'll need to create a new credential right here by signing in with your Google account, and then on the new window pops up, choose the account that you'd like to connect to Anytime. And after creating your connection, your credential will be created. Since I had already done that, I'm going to close this right here and choose my credential right here. Now here, we're going to fetch customer support emails from our clients. So here, you're going to link the email that the clients or the customers are going to be sending support emails to. We can try sending ourselves an example customer support email. You can assume this is an email from one of our clients that we are working with in the agency. So the subject line of the email could be the length of support request, issue with the lead capture to CRM workflow. Hi Dennis, I hope you're doing well. I wanted to reach out regarding an issue we've been experiencing with lead capture to CRM automation your team set up for us last month. We noticed that since Thursday, August 8th, new leads from our website form are not syncing into a HubSpot. This is starting to impact our ability to follow up with prospects in a timely manner, and a few have already slipped through the cracks. Here are the details, and here we're listing the details of the issue. Could you take a look and let us know the next steps to get this result? Please let me know if you need admin access, screenshots, or any additional details from our side. Thank you for your help, Sarah. So this could be a customer support email that our client is sending to us. So here, I'll click on send this email. I'll click on fetch test event to get the email that we just sent ourselves over here. So here you can see the snippet of the email. To view the full email, I'll take this to off and click on fetch event again. And then here you can see the email that we just sent ourselves over here from Sarah. So these are customer support email that is client or a customer is sending to us over here. So here you can choose to trigger this node after every minute, every hour, every day, every week, every month, or customize it over here. But I'm going to choose every minute. Since we have an example customer support email right here, I'll click on back to Canvas right here and pin this email right here to use it as we set up our workflow. Now the next thing that we're going to do here is we can wait a few seconds right here. For example, we can wait, let's say 3 seconds. And I'll click on back to Canvas, and then I can rename this to wait 3 seconds. And then I'll click on rename. Now the next thing that we can do, we can log this customer support email to an Airtable database in case our team wanted to go over the support emails that our agent will have responded to our clients. In Airtable, here's where we're going to log in our customer support emails and the response that our agent will have responded to the customers over here. So I've created a database that I've renamed to customer support emails. In this database, I've also created a table that I've renamed to customer support emails. And here we're going to add the name of the customer, their email, their customer support email that they sent to us, and the response that our agent sent to them using our workflow. To add this customer support email to your table, I'm going to search for your table over here, click on it, and here we're going to create a record over here. So I'll click on the node. I'll execute the wait node, and here we can proceed now to create our record. Like we did with Gmail, you'll also need to create a credential right here by clicking on create a new credential. Then from your Airtable, add your access token right here. To get your access token, just click on your profile and click on build a hub right here. Then here, you're going to create a token over here, give it a name, for example, test. Then here you're going to add all these scopes over here. So add all these scopes, and then later on you can come and remove the ones that you're not using. Then to our database, click on all current and future bases in this workspace. Then here click on create a token to create a token. Then after creating a token, copy it. And then come and paste it right here. Then click on save to create your connection. Since I had already done that, I'm going to close it. And here I'm going to choose our base, which is this base right here, customer support emails. Our table is going to be this table right here. And here we're going to map values to a column in your table with the email data of our clients over here. So for the name, we're going to drag the name over here. The email, this is going to be the email address. And then here we're going to map the customer email over here. And then for the email response, we're going to update it later on after we've generated the response using our workflow. To create this record, I'll click on execute step right here. You can see our node was executed successfully. And now when I open our table, you can see our client right here, the name, the email, and the email that they sent us right here. Now, the next thing that we're going to do here is we're going to classify our email. We're going to classify our customer's email if it's a general inquiry or if the email needs to be escalated to a human. If it's a general inquiry, we're going to use AI to respond to the customer. But if the email requires human interaction, we're going to forward the email to our team. So to do that, we'll need to classify the email first. So to classify the email, I'm going to use a text classifier. So I'll click on the node right here. And here, I'm going to drag the text I would like to classify, which will be our text right here. And here we're going to add two categories, one for general inquiry. The other category will be escalation to human. Here we're going to add descriptions for both categories right here. So description for the general inquiry will be on the lines of questions or requests that do not require accessing personal customer data or performing account-specific lookups. These are usually common, repeatable queries that can be answered using the company's public knowledge base, FAQs, product or service descriptions, or policy documents. Example, asking about product features or availability, requesting information on pricing, shipping, or return policy, inquiring about business hours or contact details, or general guidance on how-to questions about products or service. So that would be the description for the general inquiry. The description for the escalation to human category, I'll click on expression here to add the description. The description could be in the lines of messages that should be handed over to a live support agent due to their complexity, sensitivity, urgency, or ambiguity. These may involve complaints, emotional or frustrated language, legal or contractual issues, or situations where the AI's confidence in providing an accurate answer is low. Escalation is also triggered when the customer explicitly requests to speak with a human. Example, complaints about poor service or defective product, legal threats or formal disputes, highly technical or unique requests outside standard knowledge, requests involving sensitive personal or financial matters, or direct statements like I want to talk to a person or please call me. So here I'll click on back to canvas, and here one last thing that I'm going to add the system prompt template right here, and then I'll click on execute step. Before we do not add a model right here. So to add a model, I'm going to click on the model right here and choose OpenAI chat model over here. Here you'll also need to create a credential to connect OpenAI to Anytime by clicking on create a new credential. Then from your OpenAI API, add your API key over here. Then click on save to create your credential. Since I had already done that, I'm going to choose my credential right here, and here I'm going to choose a model. You can choose any of these models right here, including GPT-5, but GPT-5 tends to be slow now since so many people are using it. So I'm going to choose GPT 4.1 mini, and here I'm going to click on back to canvas over here. Now here I'll open this node and execute this step to classify our email. Our email was classified in the escalation to human branch over here. Right here. Now let us try sending ourselves an email that is going to be classified in the general inquiry branch. So here I'll unpin this. Then I'll try to send ourselves this email. We are requesting about business hours. So the email could be on the lines of hello. I hope you're doing well. I was wondering if you could let me know your regular business hours and whether you're open on weekends or public holidays. Thank you in advance for your help. Best, Alex. So here I'll send ourselves the email. Yeah, I'll open this node and try fetching the email that we just sent ourselves over here. So here you can see fetching our email. So I'll click on back to canvas over here. We can try and pin the email. Then I'll execute our workflow to see if we're going to classify the email in the general inquiry branch. You can see our workflow was executed successfully. Now when I open this email, we classify the email in the general inquiry branch over here. Let's see to set up our workflow. So now the next thing that we're going to do here is we can wait for, let's say, 2 seconds. Over here, so I'm going to wait 2 seconds. Can rename the node to wait 2 seconds and click on rename over here. We're going to use AI to respond to our client's email. So here we're going to use AI. So I'll click on AI, and here I'm going to use OpenAI. I'll click on message a model. But before we do that, we can execute this node right here. And then here I'll open this node and choose our credential right here. For the model, I'm going to choose GPT 4.0, GPT 4.1 over here, and add the prompt for the system role over here. The prompt could be on the lines of, you're an AI assistant for Luxe Automation, a professional agency specializing in automating business operations and client workflows. You can also add a prompt for the user role over here. So I'll click on expression, expand it right here to add the prompt over here. So the prompt could be in the lines of, you're a helpful assistant responding on behalf of Luxe Automation. A customer has submitted a support-related email. Your task is to use the Think tool to generate a personalized, professional reply that directly addresses the message below. Do not ignore the message content. Your reply must start with "Hi there. Thanks them for reaching out to Luxe Automation. Briefly summarize or acknowledge the exact issue. Offer clear next steps, guidance, or request missing details. Keep it warm, human, and professional. And end with thanks again, the Luxe Automation team. And here we're adding the customer's email. Then we're telling the agent, now write the full reply email based on the message above. I'll click on back to canvas. Then I'll execute step to reply to our customer's email. You can see we generated this incredible email response over here. This is on the lines of, "Hey there, thank you for reaching out to Luxe Automation. We appreciate your inquiry regarding our regular business hours and our availability on weekends and public holidays. Our standard business hours are Monday to Friday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. At this time, we are closed on weekends and public holidays, but we do monitor urgent support requests and strive to respond as promptly as possible during those periods. If you have a specific need outside our regular hours, please let us know and we'll do our best to accommodate your request. Thanks again, Luxe Automation." You can see this personalized response that we're generating using our AI model over here. So here we can add a think tool. So here I'll add a think tool over here to generate a more comprehensive response reply to our clients. So here I'll execute the step again to regenerate the reply. You can see it's executing our node and it gave us this incredible response over here, similar to the one that we had generated earlier. So our node works perfectly. So here I'll rename this node to response generator. Then here I'll click on rename. Now the next thing that we're going to do here is we're going to wait, let's say a few seconds. For example, we can wait, let's say we can wait 4 seconds to send the reply to our clients. So here, before we do that, we're going to add a label to this email response. So I'll click on add a label to message right here. Come back to canvas. I'll execute this wait node first. Then I'll open this node over here. Here we're going to add our message ID. So on Gmail, I'm going to drag the ID right here. Then I'll find the label right here. I'm going to find the customer support label to label these emails as customer support. And then here I'll execute this node to add a label to this email. And then now we can respond to our customers via email. So here I'll click on reply to a message node right here. Like we did previously, we're going to drag the ID over here. Email type will be text. Now you're going to add our message right here that we generated using our email response generator. And now to send the reply to our clients, I'm going to click on execute step right here, and you can see our node is executed and we send the reply to our customers. You can see right here the reply that we just sent to our client. So this is a response that we generated using our workflow right here. So let us update our database with the email response right here. So to do that, here I'll search for Airtable and click on Airtable. Instead of creating a record, we're going to update a record this time around. And here we're going to choose our base, choose this base right here, our table with this table right here. Here we're going to add the ID. So in our record right here, I'm going to drag the ID over here. Then we're going to update the email response column with the email response that we generated using our email response generator over here. And then I'll click on execute step to update our record. And I can see we have updated our record right here with the email response that we generated using our workflow over here. So here I'll rename this to email response and click on rename. You can rename this to reply to client email. Then here I'll click on rename, and here I rename this to customer support labels and click on rename over here. General inquiry branch works perfectly. We can now try to set up the escalation to human branch over here. So to do that, we're going to send ourselves an email that requires human interaction. So to send ourselves the email that requires escalation to a human, here I'm going to unpin this data from our node. I'm going to resend the first email that we sent ourselves earlier on from Sarah. So I'll click on send right here. And here I'll open our node and fetch the email right here. So here you can see we got our email right here. So I'll click on back to canvas and can pin it over here. And then I'll execute the workflow to see if we're going to classify it in the escalation to human branch. You can see our workflow was executed successfully, and we classified it in the escalation to human branch over here. So here I'll click on back to canvas, and now we can set up these branch. So the first thing we're going to do here is we can wait for, let's say, we can wait for 5 seconds. Click on back to canvas right here, and then I'll rename this to wait 5 seconds. And then here we're going to generate a response to our client, telling them that our live support team will be in touch with them soon. We're going to use OpenAI to generate the email response. So here I'll click on message model. Here I'll click on back to canvas, and we can execute this node over here. I'll open this node, and here we're going to choose our model by choosing my credential over here. I'm going to choose 4.1 over here. Then we're going to choose system role, and add the prompt over here. The prompt could be in the lines of your Luxe Automation AI support assistant. And here we're going to add a prompt for user role. So I'll click on expression and expand it here to add the prompt. The prompt could be on the lines of a client has submitted the following support email request. Here we add in the email. The task is to read the client's message, identify their name if present, otherwise address them as hi there, summarize their specific issue in one short, clear sentence using the think tool, write a short, friendly, and confident email letting them know you understand the issue. A human from Luxe Automation team will personally respond immediately. They should stay alert for the email or call in the next few minutes. Also, we're telling the agent keep it under 90 words and use a warm but professional tone. And here we're giving it an example style, which could be on the lines of, hi Sarah, thank you for reaching out about your lead capture workflow not syncing with HubSpot. I'll flag this for immediate review, and one of our team members will be in touch with you shortly. Please keep an eye on your inbox and phone so we can resolve this quickly. Luxe Automation support. So here I'll click on back to canvas over here, and then I'll click on execute step to generate our response for email. You can see over here we're generating this automated response that we're going to send to our clients as they wait for the team to reach out to them. So on the lines of, hey Sarah, thank you for letting us know that your website leads aren't syncing with HubSpot since August 8th. I've alerted our team about this, and especially to reach out to you right away to resolve this issue. Please watch for an email or call from us within the next few minutes. Luxe Automation support over here. So I'll rename this to automated response generator, and then now we can proceed to send them this response. So before we send them the response, we're going to first of all add a label. So I'll search for Gmail, click on Gmail, then here I'll add a label to a message. Here I'll drag the message editor here. We can label this to customer support over here, and now let's take a step to label this response. And now we can send the response to our clients via email. So here I'll search for Gmail and click on reply to a message node over here. I'll choose my credential, then I'll find our message ID, drag it over here, and then for the email type I'm going to choose text and add our response over here that we generated using our node over here. So I'll add it over here, and I'll click on execute step to send them the reply. And after sending them the reply over here, we can also notify our team that we've received an email from a client that they need to urgently respond to. So here I'll search for Gmail, then here I'll click on Gmail, then here we're going to send a message. Then here I'll open this node. I'm going to choose my credential. Here we're going to add our team's email. So here I'm just going to choose my email here as an example. Subject line of this email could be in the lines of agent client query, immediate action required. The email type I'm going to choose text and add the message over here. So I'll click on expression, expand it right here so we can add the message. The message could be on the lines of item. We just received a message from, then we add in the name of the client about an issue with their workflow. This is time sensitive and needs to be handled right away. Please review the client's message below and get started on resolving it immediately. And here we are attaching the client's message, which is this email that they sent us over here. Let's make sure we reach out to them with an update as soon as possible. Last the bot over here, then here I'll click on back to canvas and send a message to our team over here. So I'll execute this node. Here I'll click on back to canvas, and we can rename this to team notification. Then here I'll click on rename. And now we can update our record with the response that we generated for this client. So here I'll search for Airtable. then click on Airtable right here, and then I'll update a record, and then Airtable. Here we're going to choose our base first, which is customer support. Table will be this table right here, and we're going to map the values in our columns in our base with the data from our workflow. So here, I'm going to drag the ID from Airtable over here, and then the column that I would like to update is the email response column with the automated response that we generated using our node, and then I'll execute step to update our record with the email response. You can see our node was executed successfully, and now we updated our record with the response over here using our workflow over here. So here on this node, we forgot to link our think tool over here. So as you can see in our prompt, here we are supposed to summarize the specification in one short, clear sentence using the think tool. So here, click on back to canvas and you can link this think tool over here. Now let us try testing our workflow again. So our email that was here was classified as escalation to human. So in our database, you can clear this email to regenerate an email response. So this email that we've pinned over here. So to do that we've pinned over here. So to test our workflow, I'll execute our workflow over here. Here you can see that our workflow was executed successfully. Here we received an email from an example client. This is the email that they sent us over here, without telling us they have an issue with the lead capture to CRM that our team set up for them last week. Then we're waiting a few seconds and creating a record in a Airtable right here, where we are adding the name, email, and the customer emails that they sent us over here. Then we are classifying the email as escalation to human. Then we are waiting a few seconds and generating an automated response using this node over here. So we are responding to this email that they sent us over here, and this is the automated email response that we're generating using our node over here. Then we're adding a label to this email response. Then we are responding to the client using this node over here and notifying our team. So we've received an email from a client who needs immediate response. Then we are updating the record with the response over here, as you can see, using our workflow over here. So our escalation to human branch works perfectly. So I've renamed this node to customer support label. I've renamed this node that we're replying to our client as automated client response, that we're sending to our team to notify them of their client's query. I've renamed it to team notification. And then the node that we're using to update the client's email record, I've renamed it to automated response over here. In our inbox, you can see the automated response that we generated using our workflow over here. We were responding to Sarah using this email body over here. We're telling them thanks for reaching out about your website lead not syncing with HubSpot since August 8th. I've flagged these for immediate attention, and the Luxe Automation team member will be in touch very soon. Please keep an eye on your inbox or phone so we can get these resolved quickly. Luxe Automation support. Now when I open our team's emails inbox, you can see the email that we are sending to our team right here, telling them that we have an urgent client query. Hey team, I just received a message from this client about an issue with their workflow. Below is the attached email message, and then we are linking the client's message right here, so the team can begin resolving this client query immediately right here. So we are sending these automated response to our client and these email to our team using our workflow right here after we received a support email from a client right here. Let us try testing the general inquiry branch in our workflow. So to do that, we're going to unpin these the email data right here that we pinned over here. And then we're going to send ourselves a general inquiry email where we are inquiring about business hours. I'll click on send over here. And now here, I'll open this node. And then I'll click on fetch test event over here. And then here, you can see we captured our email over here, requesting about business hours. Then I'll click on back to canvas. Then I'll execute the workflow to test it. You can see that our workflow was executed successfully. Here, we captured a customer support email. They sent us via email. Then we waited a few seconds to create a record in Airtable and logging in the client's email with their data to our database over here. So here you can see we added the name, email, and the customer email over here. Then we classify the email as general inquiry, where we waited a few seconds to generate an email response using this node over here. This is the response that we generated using our workflow, telling them that our standard business hours are Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. over here. And then we're waiting a second to add a label to the response, where we're adding the label as customer support. Then we are responding to the client using this node right here with the response that we generated over here using this node. And then we are updating the record with the response that we generated using our node right here. And this is the response that we're logging into Airtable over here using this workflow that we created right here in Anytime. Now, when I open our inbox right here, you can see the automated response that we generated using our workflow and sent to our client over here. So they were requesting to know about business hours, and we here we're responding to them by telling them that our business hours are Monday to Friday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. over here. So we generated this response and sent it to our client using the simple workflow that we created right here in Anytime. Our workflow works perfectly. We are receiving customer support emails using this node right here. Then we're waiting a few seconds and logging in the customer support emails to a database in Airtable right here. So we're adding the name, email, the customer email that they sent us. And then we're classifying the emails either by general inquiry or escalation to human. So the email is classified as general inquiry. We're waiting a few seconds, then generating an email response using this node. Then we're waiting a few seconds and adding a label to the response, and then replying to the client's email using this node right here. And logging in the response that we generated over here using this node to Airtable. And this is the response that we generated over here. And this is the response that we added to our base over here that we generated using this workflow. So if the email is classified as escalation to human, we're waiting a few seconds, then generating an automated response. Then we add in the label as customer support, and we are replying to the client's email with the automated response using this node right here. We're also notifying our team that we have received an urgent query from a client that they need to get on it immediately. Then we are also logging in the response that we sent to our client via email into Airtable. Here's the email response that we're logging into our database right here in Airtable using the simple workflow that we created right here in Anytime. Thank you for watching. If you'd like me to set up this workflow for you, just click the link in the description to set up a call with me. On the call, we'll discuss the kind of workflow or AI agent that you'd like to set up for your business. But if you enjoyed the video and you have any workflow or an AI agent that you'd like for me to set up, just comment down below in the comment section. I read all the comments, and if I land in your comment and I find it intriguing, I'll come back on a future video showing you how to create the entire workflow or AI agent from scratch using Anytime. But for now, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.